What's going on, guys? It's your boy Darian. We're gonna be doing day 2 of Euro Truck Simulator. This game still looks as amazing as ever. We're gonna be hauling some kind of refinery thing, not even completely sure. Let's take a look at it. A reservoir is what it looks like. We're gonna be hauling some kind of reservoir thing. We're gonna be going from Calais to Paris, so let's put ourselves in gear and let's get going. So, like I already said, the graphics, the scenery graphics still look as amazing as ever. I already forgot how to use my turn signal, but that's fine. So we're gonna try and get this green light right here. Come on, let me turn. Thank you, sir. You're a very nice person. So it looks like we're gonna come out here. Speed limit's 31, so we're not gonna pass that. We're gonna just keep going straight until it looks like we reach a right-hand turn. And let's stop for this red light. Oh, never mind. So, in this video, while we're just cruising down the road and taking a look at this beautiful scenery of Euro Truck Simulator 2, I am gonna just note that I did try and get my controller to work with Euro Truck Simulator. I tried for a good like 20 minutes and I couldn't figure it out, so I just kind of gave up. So I guess keyboard is what I'm going to be using for this game, which is fine. I actually don't drive that bad with the keyboard. It has a really smooth mechanic that actually works pretty well. Why are we rolling backwards? Anyways, so what I wanted to look in this video about is Italy Mafia, which is going to be the GTA San Andreas server, and what's going on with them, and what I'm doing now, and why I have pretty much quit Italy Mafia. So, to start off with, GTA San Andreas is an old game, and whenever you have an old game, there's always going to be room for improvement. Now, that's not always the case. Some games can be fun regardless of how old they are. CSGO is a perfect example. It's an extremely old game, but it's very easy to find enjoyment in that. And in fact, I do own CSGO. I don't play it because I don't necessarily have anybody to play with, but if given the opportunity, I wouldn't mind playing with some people in CSGO. Now, that's getting off the topic. That's just my little thing on CSGO. GTA San Andreas is not one of those games where you're kind of limited on what you can do. In the sense that, yes, there's mapping, yes, you can do a lot of stuff on GTA San Andreas. There's only so much enjoyment that you can get out of it. I played Italy Mafia from about mid-2014. Let me slow down for this turn. I played Italy Mafia since about mid-2014, and I had a lot of enjoyment doing it. I don't regret any of my time on Italy Mafia. I averaged, I want to say, about 120 to 130 hours every 2 weeks during my peak time. And that's being generous. I know at one point I did have about 140, 150. Point being, I know life did. Okay, I had a ton of good times on Italy Mafia. I met a bunch of awesome people. There's me stopping playing Italy Mafia is not because of anybody or anything other than I've found enjoyment somewhere else in another game. And this is where we come into DOJ, Department of Justice Roleplay, GTA 5 role-playing community. So I've stayed within the Grand Theft Auto scheme. I've just simply moved away from GTA San Andreas. But let's get back to that. Let's worry about DOJ in a little bit. Let's talk about Italy Mafia right now and where it stands. So Italy Mafia has gone onto a dry spell, and as of recently, it has stopped accepting donations per Woot's, I guess, wishes. And anybody with an IQ above 90 will be able to tell you what that pretty much means. Whenever a community stops accepting donations, that means that the funding for hosting the server has been cut off, and whenever you cut off funding for something, well, you guys can finish that sentence. So I don't really see that much of a future in Italy Mafia, and by that much of a future, I mean 2 to 3 years, which is pushing it. Times I don't see it still being around, or if it is around, it's no longer in a GTA San Andreas capacity, it's in something else. Now, Woot, who's the owner of Italy Mafia, does still have his hands in other communities, such as CSGO. He ran a very successful, and I do mean this in the fullest, a very successful website in CSGO. So he does have touches in the CSGO community. He does know what he's doing, and I'm sure that if he wanted to, that is something that he could do. He could change Italy Mafia into some kind of rebrand of a CSGO community. So we're gonna get behind this bus right here. That's possible. But is that something that I want to do? Now, I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing with Italy Mafia. For all I know, he could keep Italy Mafia even if it has 2 people playing it for the next 5 years, no updates. He could just keep it up on some $500 computer that he has in his basement. I don't know. He could do that. But do I want to be a part of that? That's the question. And why is it taking me into a fuel station? This GPS is all whacked out. The point being that that's not where I see myself. I'm not going to invest time, even though I probably could still find some enjoyment in it. I'm not going to invest my time in a game that I don't believe is still going to be there in the next, say, 2-3 years. Even though, like I said, I could find enjoyment, I will have more enjoyment knowing that the time that I put into a community is going to last in the long run. Now the question can be asked, why did you put so much time in the first place? When I first joined Italy Mafia was completely thriving. Updates were coming every 2 or 3 months. The admin team was actively being worked on. People coming in, people coming out. Reports were being handled on a daily, if not weekly basis. Long story short, putting it simple, shit was getting done in Italy Mafia. And because of that, I had a good time. It was enjoyable. I saw a nice future in it. Things were getting done. Management was active. The owner cared about the server. The same can't really be said now. Not that Woot doesn't care, because I'm sure he does care. He's put a lot of time, probably close upwards to 8 years, maybe even going on 9 or 10 years into this community. So I know he cares. Okay, I'm not taking credit away from Woot or anything of the sort. Woot is a great guy. And even though we have not talked very much, being the admin level that I am, we probably should have talked a lot more than we are. That's a whole nother point. I know he cares. Okay, so I'm not taking away from what he's done or how he feels about the community that he maybe not created but has built since 2009, 2010. So now, why DOJ, you ask? DOJ, Department of Justice Roleplay Community, is a GTA 5 community ran by, we'll say 3 major YouTubers: Jeff, Polecat, and Bay Area bugs, which combined average out to about, we'll say roughly 1.5 million subscribers. That's combining all of them together. None of them have above 1 million subscribers. I believe Jeff has about 550, give or take, thousand. Bugs has about 600. I think he just hit 600,000, and Polecat has about 300 to 400,000. So they're all doing very well for themselves in the YouTube scene. But what does that mean for DOJ when we actually take the scope out and look at it in its actual sense? DOJ has a very strong marketing team. And what does a very strong marketing team mean? Very strong funding. And what does very strong funding mean? It means that it's going to last. As long as there is an audience for Grand Theft Auto role-playing servers, which I'm telling you now, there will be for at least the foreseeable future, because people enjoy it. DOJ will continue to thrive and have an actively investing community. And what does actively investing mean? That means that people that are actively willing to put time and effort into the community to make it a better and more entertaining place to be for other people, including themselves. And I thought that term was going to be harder than it was. That means, and that's exactly what I want. I want a community that I can put my pretty much heart and soul into. I did the most jank illegal thing just now. I should have waited like them, but I'm not that patient. Even though, so I completely lost my train of thought because I was so focused on that. Long story short, to kind of get my mind going back to where it was, I am at this point in time, as of today, 10/12/2017, putting, if not all, a majority of my effort that, and this is not including obviously real life stuff, because I have real life obligations as far as college and school goes, so I don't want this to be taken the wrong way. But as of right now, all of the time and effort that I am willing to put into gaming is going 99.5% into DOJ. And that is because I see a strong future in DOJ. I enjoy DOJ, and I enjoy the people and the atmosphere of DOJ. Now, I know that there have been videos recently by other YouTubers that have said otherwise, but as somebody, boy, work those brakes. Ooh, that's how you get rear-ended. I shouldn't have been going as fast as I was in this truck. Even though other people would say otherwise, that are no longer part of the community, I can tell you that DOJ, for the most part, is a very friendly atmosphere. Obviously, we have 700 to 800 members. There's always gonna be, the small amount of toxic people. There's always gonna be the bad apples, as they would say. But that doesn't mean that the entire community is a bad apple, okay? There are still people in the community that strongly care for what happens and want to be able to wake up the next day and say DOJ is still a thriving and fun community to be a part of. There are people in high positions that believe in that, and as do I. I put all the effort that I put into DOJ is to try and make it an entertaining and fun place to be, not only for myself, but for other people that also join. Hence why I have involved myself in numerous other things, such as dispatching the fire department. I recently joined FIT. I'm part of the tech support team. I've put myself into all of these positions in order to help push DOJ forward, because I know that DOJ is something that I will be a part of in the long run and put a lot of time and effort into, because I enjoy being here. Like I said, some people have different opinions on this. Ooh, we're gonna have to oh, we're not gonna make that. Okay, where are we going? Okay, so we're gonna go all the way around to the right. Okay, so that's DOJ, and like I said, I don't see myself caring that much for Italy Mafia anymore, hence why my activity in there has reduced tremendously. So hopefully you guys can understand that and understand where I'm coming from and why I've kind of made that transition, and hopefully you guys can respect that now that I'm outside of Italy Mafia, you know, I actually feel like I have something to work for, because Italy Mafia, I had made it to the top. And not saying that if I make it to the top in DOJ, I'll have nothing to work for, but I'm saying knowing that there was no real future for Italy Mafia, I didn't feel like putting more time into it would have helped. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Okay. We're gonna get this easy. So that's kind of my opinion on Italy Mafia and DOJ. I don't wish Italy Mafia any any kind of, you know, there's no malicious intent or anything with me not putting time into DOJ. That's just my personal opinion. Other people can have different opinions than me. That's fine. And if there's development in Italy Mafia, then I'm sure it will go on for a lot longer. But its current point, as of right now, I don't see myself doing anything else. So that's my opinion on Italy Mafia and why I joined DOJ and my opinions on DOJ. This has been episode number 2 of Euro Truck Simulator. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been your boy Darian. Peace.